Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a casted game between David Kim playing as the Delhi Sultanate and Daut playing as the English. Now, these are two top-level players, top 100 to top 50, kind of depends on the day of the week, but they are great, and this should be a fun matchup. We are here on Mongolian Heights. We see that David has actually opened with a second scout here. Surely going for the sheep that are here. And we see him opening with the tree line, which indicates that he's going to be going for a dock. Now, he's building a dock against an English opponent, which can be it could be a decision you have to make because the English longbows are notorious for being pretty good at contesting river maps such as this. So David will need some kind of towers or standing army, likely to contest some harassing longbows. But I'd imagine he has some kind of plan for this. You see him building his dock right here, kind of right at the passing of the river. It does look like he has a few fish to the north and to the south, so it's okay dock placement. Let's see how much sheep he's picking up. This one scout so far has not picked up any sheep. Has this one. There we go. We got 8 sheep there. Now, Daut, opening up the English, is pretty standard to open with, 8 on food, 3 on gold. There you go. Or rather, 7 on food and 3 on gold. I bet the next villager will probably be going to either wood or food. We do see they're going to be going to wood. Now, English, not going for a dock. It's not too uncommon here, considering up against the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi are able to shoot with their fishing boats, so you don't necessarily want to be in the Dark Age having a dock going up against these guys because they will fight back. But I'd imagine maybe he'll try to contest water a little bit in the feudal age, but we'll have to see. We see David bringing in all of these sheep right now. Now, I know that David plays a lot of the Delhi Sultanate, so I'm always excited to watch his games because you never know what he has in store for us. In Daut, both these players really play all the civs, but I've seen Daut particularly play a good variety of civilizations. I'm not even sure what would be considered his main civs, but I feel like I catch a lot of David's Delhi games, or at least I'm looking for them, right? At least I'm looking for them. Okay, we do see an age-up time, about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He's placing down that council hall. It does look like he is using 3 villagers to build it. Now, he canceled it. I think he's going for a more forward one. Or, I think something goofy happened with the placement. He has replaced his, there we go. So, lost about 15 seconds on starting that age up there. And has pulled his gold villas, so no more gold for Daut. He currently has 7 on food, so he left his 7 villagers on food and is now putting I was going to say all new villagers to wood, but actually he's putting some on food right now. So he only has 4 chilling on wood at the moment. Now, let's see what David's up to. He's building a tower to the south of the river. And this is kind of what I thought we might see because he needs some kind of defensive structures to defend himself from these longbows. Back at home, he has 6 villagers on food, 4 on wood. He's left 2 on gold. Left 2 on gold. He's not aging up yet, and that's kind of the price you pay when you go for water. You get a little bit of a slower age-up time. And this can be a little bit risky against English because this gives time for English to start massing longbows, and they train them very quickly as it is. So it makes it a little bit hard to get a momentum going once you reach the second age. I expect maybe we'll see some, perhaps a stable come out of David once he reaches the next stage. We do see him walling mid, which will be a nice way to buy himself some time here. So playing defensively. And he's getting ready to age up now. 8 on food. He still just left those initial 5. So he took when we started the game, took 5 villagers, put them on wood. They've stayed here the whole game. And you see his macro here. He's got all of the gold he needed for age up with 2 villagers. And he's just now throwing 5 on that Dome of Faith, which will produce those scholars at half the cost. Now, for Delhi, of course, their technologies are free to research, but they take a lot of time. So you offset that cost by training scholars and garrisoning them inside a mosque. Now, interesting here, he built this wall. I think he purposely left a gap in the wall so he could get out. Maybe he'll close this later. I don't know. I think he didn't want to invest in a gate. You got to consider a gate is 25 wood. So it's a little bit of a savings for now. But I'd imagine he might want to close. Or maybe it is No, it's definitely not closed. This will be interesting here. Will these longbows get a pick on this villager? Will this wall get closed off in time? Maybe it was a mistake, actually. You see him walking this way. No, I think he saw the longbows. I don't know. I thought he was going to close it off. Maybe he will now. He also walled the south side. So buying himself a little bit of time there with a few wall segments. And continuing to train these fishing boats, which are, of course, boosting his eco quite a bit. Let's see what he does as he reaches the second age. Of course, we've got English. Let's see if he's going for a second. No, Nose 2 TC on the horizon. Going for a fair amount of gold now at this point. Interesting. Okay, so we've got longbows. They're just going to run past here. But here we go. We got fishing boats getting in on the mix and taking shots at those longbows, doing out a little bit of damage. But the longbows still did get by, and it doesn't look like he lost a single one. And in fact, picking up a villager. So this is a pretty solid trade, honestly, for Daut. He took a little bit of damage, but he's now going to get to raid the eco of David. And we see here a second villager going down now. This... Oh, man, I thought he might get a third one there. So it's interesting that David decided not to close this off. But now that villager's dead, he doesn't even have the option. And these longbows could come across the river if they want to keep flowing. And there we go, a third villager going down now. And this is the danger. That's just with 5 longbows. 5 longbows. I think he was building this as a trap, as we saw what he did here. But I don't think the trap worked. I think he thought maybe it would be enough to deter the opponent. But a tower and a fishing boat shooting wasn't enough to scare these longbows from attacking. And now David, he has dropped down a stable. We see him going for stone. I think that's going to be for arrow slits. I don't think he's going for a second town center, but he could. But he certainly doesn't have the wood he would need for this. Speaking of wood, he is not gathering any wood at the moment. He's put his wood into the river, but he's currently kind of boxed off of his wood line. And, 1 or 2 horsemen might not be enough. Well, low HP, it might be enough since there aren't reinforcing longbows at the moment. There we go. He now has the arrow slit upgrade, which will give this an attack without having anything garrison. Also increases the range of that. Here we go. We see this horseman. 2 horsemen charging in. A scout trying to tank some damage. Here we go. Targeting those low HP longbows. Down goes 2 longbows really quickly. A third longbow. And I think he will be able to clean this up here with an additional horseman coming in. But I think those longbows got some pretty good value there. Picked off a few villagers. Stopped the wood gathering for a time. Now we do see that more longbows have been trained, but those arrow slits have kind of scared him away. He's backing off for the moment. Getting a lot of gold. What has Daut been doing with this gold? I think he's just getting... He got these upgrades, perhaps? I'm just looking at this. Or did he get an upgrade? Let's see. Okay, so he went for the first lumber camp upgrade. I was wondering where that gold went. So that is what he did. He spent gold on the lumber camp upgrade. I don't think he doesn't have his setup camp yet. Hold on. This is where it went. He got a dock down, and he has 2 galleys coming in right now. And though those fishing boats can shoot, there will be no match for these galleys, but the tower will help put out plenty of damage there. But in come this horseman looking to box out those longbows, and those longbows are going to need to kite back. But those galleys were able to... Did they pick off? I think they picked off a fishing boat. I think he had more than 5. Trying to stop the tower. Man, he almost stopped it. That could have been so huge. And now I think... man, this is a terrible trade. Losing a lot of horsemen here to these longbows. And this tower is up. This is a really good spot for Daut. Not to mention he still has... Oh, did he lose a galley? He did, and has 1 very low HP. So this tower has done some work. Okay, so right now, this is looking really nice for Daut. He is on the water. He's dropped an Age 2 dock down and is now training these galleys, which are pretty strong units up against Delhi. Delhi could train the Dao, but we've got a tower here now for the English. Now, why is that good for English? Well, they have the network of castles bonus, which allows their units nearby to shoot faster when there's enemies nearby the tower. So... I think this is low enough health now that he's actually able to attack this with that fishing boat. Bringing down a villager right now to build a dock on the northern side. But idling that water eco a little bit for the Delhi, but he's still gathering, doing okay for the time being. Getting gold, we see just about 600 gold, so we can expect that David is going for the next age. There we go. Daut came out and is finishing off that low HP galley. This is... Oh, is he going to... If he hides this away, this would be huge. But I think... Okay, there we go. He stops the dock from being built. He stops this galley. This is a good play by David, finishing off this and not allowing it to just heal up. And there we go. That Daut will be finishing off that low HP galley. We still see that David is gathering a little bit of stone. He's got 440 stone. I don't know if this is an overgather, if he's going for a second town center. He doesn't have any wood, so I don't think he's going for a second TC. But perhaps he could use that in the next stage. I think he just forgot to pull those guys off of stone in all of the commotion. Just now starting Sanctity and then Efficient Production. So he's only now started with that Moss, though it does have 3 villagers inside of it. 3 scholars inside of it. He does have a blacksmith, so he can start researching these texts, which will be improved time now that he has some scholars garrison. Just now throwing his first mill down, so probably wheelbarrow will be coming in for him there. I think the most interesting thing I've seen here is the early wood upgrade for the English. I know there's a lot of debate on when you should get your eco upgrades, and we see a lot of players ignore these until even the castle age. But Daut really rushed getting that wood upgrade early on, has had a lot of villagers on gold. Getting those 2 galleys out was able to do a little bit of damage here, forced his opponent to train a Daut. But honestly... David is alive right now, and for the Delhi, getting to the castle age is usually like the hardest part of the game. Just surviving through feudal, where I think English are a little stronger most of the time. But look at him finishing off this. He lost a villager there, unfortunately. Let's look at the villager count. 43 for Daut versus the 41 of David Kim. So all things considered, not too terrible. And he has a lot of arrow-slit towers along the river, so he's doing a good job defending his claim here on the river. And now we see that age up coming in. Let's see if he's going with the compound defender. There it is. My favorite landmark. I like this one. This makes it so that his military, his infantry are able to build stone walls and are able to build keeps at a discounted rate. The infantry aren't able to build keeps, but they are discounted, so they'll make the 600 stone instead of 800. But we also see Daut has reached the 3rd age a little bit before his opponent with the King's Palace, and this basically serves as a second town center. So Daut is on 2 TC right now. He's also fishing down to the south. So though there's a tower here, he does have access to quite a bit of fish down here. Mind you, each one of these shoreline fish has 1,000 food in it. And we do see this this tower being upgraded to a stone tower. Will he upgrade more of them? I don't know. Oh, will we lose this Daut? Man, that Daut barely survives there and is going to heal up now at that dock. Oh, he's got to be careful. Got to be careful. David reaching the castle age right now. Oh, look at that. I think the tower was able to kill that galley. I don't think that's something that Daut wanted to happen. Probably didn't notice. And now we've got 4 horsemen inside of that outpost, building another one. Man, David's doing a great job at putting down plenty of towers to defend the water. This will be a huge one to deny this this water eco of the English. And I was wondering if he might go for a Springald emplacement. He is going for the Springald emplacement, so that will deal out plenty of damage. Also, throwing down an outpost. Could maybe see him take the sacred site later. Which would be 200 gold per minute for him if he's able to capture that. Meanwhile, we've got Daut dropping down a house, doing a villager boom, still just making longbows, going for that siege engineering though. So I think we're going to see a ram out here. There's a lot of towers, but David doesn't currently have a standing army. We see these scholars moving out. So I think he's going to be picking up these relics and that sacred site. But this will be really huge as he gets that Springald emplacement. Oh, but he's not shooting at the fishing boats. Now, this does a 60 attack, plus 50 for a ship, so 110 versus a ship. So he could 2-shot these fishing boats, but it is currently not shooting at the right building, and he might not notice that for quite some time. Okay, we've got a barracks here. 2 barracks, so probably some... it might be spears. I said maybe some... I was going to think men-at-arms, but I think this might be some spear. You got to think that there could... Oh, boy. I don't know what that scholar was doing on this side of the river. I think he was going for this relic, but passed this way, and I don't think that's what he wanted. Perhaps? I don't know. It seemed like not the position he wanted to be in. And there we go. That's 200 gold per minute. He is retasked his outpost, and down go these fishing boats. So this is good for him. Let's look at the 60 villagers for David versus the... 64 Daut versus the 50 of David Kim right now, because Daut is currently on 2 town center. And I'm a little bit nervous that the English eco is just going to start to take off right now. Now, English have really good rates for farming. So just as good as other civilizations have for hunting, that's the English for farming, and not to mention they get these upgrades to generate gold as he reaches the 4th age. A considerable number of longbows and a ram pushing out now. What does David have? He has 1 tower elephant, but is that going to be enough? Up against veteran longbows. I'm not sure that 1 tower elephant is going to be enough. As you see, already at about half health, he is training a few lancers, but that tower is going to be going down. And the Daut taking fire as well. And that's, a rather expensive ship, 181, 90 gold. I mean, not very expensive in the 3rd age, but, you hate just to lose that for free. I think did he pull it back or did it sink? I think hard to say because the fishing boats always look just like the Dows. I think he maybe got it. And now that dock, that's the only dock for David. Now we see the stone walls coming up right now for the Delhi Sultanate. 2 spring on placements down here, but they aren't shooting at that last fishing boat. So frustrating. You wish these would target maybe the boats before they target a dock, but it is what it is. Back at home, we've got a 2nd blacksmith working on upgrades. We do have a Manganel in queue and tower elephants. So he's going for tower elephants, lancers, and Manganel is the composition we're going to see right now. Of course, those eco upgrades are free, so he's just getting those for free right now. Sitting on 1 mosque, and they only has 1 scholar inside it right now. It does look like he is healing up that 1 tower elephant, so a good way to keep that tower elephant, keep his investment alive. But here comes a significant mass of longbows, and now there's spearmen in the mix. And he doesn't have a great solution for countering the spearmen, but we do have this Manganel, which could make a big difference. We do see 2 villagers going down. Mind you, Dave's already behind on villagers, 3 villagers going down. And he has revealed his Manganel, so I think Daut is just going to kite back now that he knows that's there. But let's see what happens. Wow, that is a huge Manganel shot. Look at that. This entire mass, excuse me, has been halved. Look at that. Just that 1 shot. That was a huge shot for Daut. Or for David, rather, onto Daut's army. And now Daut is running away, and now those elephants can start to chase. He's got a decent lancer mass. This is a scary position if you're in Daut's shoes, as he doesn't really have an answer for this Manganel at the moment. And here we go. In come the lancers. Now Longbow is able to deal a considerable amount of damage. A big Manganel shot. Does it? I think it does get a contact on a lot of those longbows. We do see the tower elephants just kiting back. He's not going to commit yet. Boxing out that English army. Is he trapped? Oh no. He can't get through here. Look how the map has ginned. Oh, I can't decide if it's unlucky. I think it might be a little bit unlucky for David at the moment. But he's doing a good job of just escaping right now. And we might pick up some more villagers. Oh no. No, David. Down goes a villager. 1 villager. 2 villagers. 3, 4, 5 villagers. But another big Manganel shot. But look at the villager count is really... this is what I was talking about. Is the eco just going to take off for Daut? And sure, this might be a cleanup here. But, and losing more villagers on the front line. I mean, that's going to be the hardest thing over time. Now, let's look at the income per minute. Because you got to consider there's 3 relics. That's 300 gold per minute. And then that's a sacred set bringing in 200 gold. So... he's got 500 gold income per minute right now. So you could take a look at the income per minute right now. Gold-wise, still doing okay, but it is not helpful to be losing villagers. You need to keep these alive. And we do see the English army cleaned up here slowly, but, picking up those villagers might be valuable enough here at the moment. But this Delhi army is growing in size. What is this? We've got an attack ship now set up there mid. This is nice for... he built a dock to the north. But longbows and spears continuing to pick off the villagers. Look at this. 48 villagers for Dave versus the 84 of Daut. That is just going to be killer to his eco. And oh no! He almost had this wall off, but he didn't get it, and losing a lot of villagers back at home. Another villager going down there. Is trading that all these longbows worth it to kill those villagers? I'd say probably so, because at the end of the day, Daut still has 2 town centers booming away. His eco is looking great. He can just throw down some more military production buildings, and it's going to take a long time for David to, regroup and get retrain those villagers, right? He needs to drop some multiple town centers at this point, I think, to get his eco back in this game. And even, Daut's got a lot of guts. He's not afraid of the fact that his opponent has Manganels and he has no Springolds. He's just been running around and picking off villagers regardless. So we do see a cleanup finally happening of Daut's army, but even right now we have 11 villagers idled, and we have David's been investing in these backlogs, which are they're good ships, but they're losing right now to Spearman. He's not paying attention and just getting that torch damage of this. He's taking the Springald damage from that outpost, and those 2 expensive boats. Let's look at the cost here. 240 wood, 180 gold. Not something you just want to throw away. But, right now, this is anyone's game. Let's go back at the current resources tab, and you can see there, David just has so much gold. But we do see Tower Elephants looking to press out right now. And this is where David is finally going to need to get his army together and stop this Delhi force. But we do see a keep being dropped on the front line, and this should be able to stall the Delhi army at the moment. What's going on up here? We've got a backlog taking shots. Is this outpost upgraded? I think, yeah. Oh my gosh. He thought he was healing it, but the Springald emplacement took him down. And right now, I can't really decide who has water. I guess David still has the water, but there's towers on both sides. It's definitely, it's not just free roam, that's for sure. Now we have 3 Springolds. This is the magic number to be able to just one-shot this army if he can get a big hit here. Those villagers, you see that down they go. Is he dropping his... Oh, he's... Whoa! Oh, I don't think he knew this keep was here. It looked like David was trying to drop an offensive keep, but Daut says, not today, sir, not today. And even more fearsome than the keep, we've got the Berkshire Palace coming down, and we know it has that Gatling gun of an emplacement there. More Manganels coming out, but we do have Springolds now in the mix for Daut. Where is his siege workshop? I don't know exactly where. Oh, you know what? He's training it from his keep. English bonus. Okay, so he needs to be careful now. Springold taking actually a huge volley from some Manganels. You don't see that every day. But of course, you don't want to just go toe-to-toe Manganel versus Springold in general. But Daut reaching that 4th age. And this is going to be the tricky spot for David because Delhi has so many bugs right now as far as the timings of their late techs that you're kind of your power spike is in the 3rd age, and age 4 is where English really starts to kick off. They can start getting this passive gold generation from the farms once it gets enclosures. And not to mention, look at the villager count. 50 for David versus the almost 100 of Daut. That is just a huge gap. Let's look at the income per minute. And you can see there right now, Daut is out-gathering in every category and controlling the water pretty decently with his towers. And now that there's Springolds coming to invest, there's a big investment in Manganel for David Kim. And I think I heard a Bombard. Yes, we do have Bombards. And boy, oh boy. Looking at the... man, I feel like this is really starting to swing in Daut's favor. I think David has lost too many villagers and been on the kind of the back foot here for too long. If he had finished just this wall segment earlier on and prevented those longbow raids, that could have been such a huge moment. But now there's Bombards on the field. Stone walls aren't going to mean a whole lot. At least David has had a lot of gold generation. That's for sure. But hopefully you understand what I mean, that, it is hard right now. Like, sure, Delhi could go up to age 4, but those upgrades aren't going to take effect for quite some time. Meanwhile, we're looking at, elite upgrades going to be coming in very, very soon for all of Daut's army. Longbow is still on veteran status. We've got men-at-arms being put in the mix, but this English mass is going to start to get very, very scary. Does he have a university down yet? Do not see a university quite yet. Rather expensive early on to get those university techs. I think he could afford it, though, actually, looking at his eco at the moment. I think he's just focusing on his macro, getting set up, and he's going to push up, and that's what we see happening. We've got Spears, still a veteran army. Surprised he is not... there we go. Just now starting to get that as elite techs for his men-at-arms. But that's a lot of Springles. A huge shot there. I'm sorry, that's a lot of Manganels. A lot of Manganels. And there we go. The Springles are down. And Daut needs to be careful here because these Manganels can just one-shot this entire army if he gets out of position. And you see him trying to run away. But look at that. That's exactly what's happened. Look at that. The Springle shots have... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So Daut has thrown his army away here. Before upgrades have even came in, we see Elite just now coming in for these longbows. So this is great if you're in David's shoes. And honestly, I feel like David has to push right now. But the problem is going to be Daut's eco is just a bear right now. He is set up. He's got a lot of melee protection. Look at that. He's trained 6 man-arms at a time. He's got bombards. He's got plenty of defensive structures here to hold on if there was a Delhi push right now. But honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like David has, like... You just had a huge cleanup. You can't wait for English to remass in this situation. But let's face it. Dave's the professional. Let's trust his judgment. Let's see how he does it. Okay, we've got 3 bombards right now and more barracks being put down. I mean, honestly, right now, Daut could just start flooding spearmen and men-at-arms and just chase this army down. Obviously... And the other thing is these Manganel or the bombards will start to be able to just one-tap these Manganels. I'd be curious if he just takes out that stone wall. Really? If you are in Daut's shoes, you should pop that stone wall because it's going to prevent your line of sight. It's going to prevent your bombards from shooting while the Manganels can still shoot over the wall. Now, I do think David is going to maybe be aging up. Where'd all his food just go? Is he aging up? He is aging up. With the Palace of the Sultan, which will over time generate these war elephants, but it'll take some time to really get much benefits from this age 4. We see another keep coming down. Let's see how many scholars he has. He does not have a whole lot of scholars. I mean, he does, but they're out here right now. He's got to garrison those if he has any hope of getting these upgrades anytime today. Look at that boiling oil. It will still take another 3 minutes at its current state, but that keep is going to go down. Now, one fun thing about Delhi is they keep their technology's progress even if it gets canceled. So even though there's like 3 minutes left on that boiling oil, if he builds another keep, he could just resume that research. But we do see a Daut castle being dropped now to the northwest side of the river. And look at that, just about one-shotting that town center. David trying to get back in the villager game here. It's almost at 70 villagers versus the 116 of Daut. But now we have a lot of infantry charging that front line, and we have bombards just sniping the siege of David at the moment. And I think that's his goal here. Take out the siege and then just remass probably. And look at that. He's already taken out, I think, all of the Springolds of David's, but we got one here, losing lots of Manganel. We do see a bombard in the back line. This is an excellent trade for Daut. He lost those infantry, but he's wiped out. I mean, think about the investment of how much Manganel and Springles were there for, a few man-arms. Yes, the bombards are expensive, but I think this is a great trade because it's going to be hard for David to remass this. And now, as he continues to spam his infantry have room to breathe. That those Manganel are now dead. Oh, look at that! Another Manganel going down. We've got elite man-at-arms. These things taking out. It does look like taking out that bombard that was just trained for Daut and for David. I mean, he has those elephants, but I mean, English is set up. He's got these elite upgrades. I'm assuming there's a university down at this point somewhere. There we go. There's his university. You see how he has his infantry upgrade. I mean, that is such a powerful upgrade to be going up against. I mean, looking at the Delhi Sultanate, it's going to take over 10 minutes until he gets that biology upgrade. And that is the big difference with Delhi right now. When you go age 4, you're just not getting much of benefit. He's still fighting with an age 3 army up against age 4 of Daut. Here come this knights trying to hold on, but he's happy to take this trade. He realized he needs to do something. But here we go. Kind of I mentioned before, it's just going to be a flood of infantry all over the map. And, how is David going to stop these elite man arms from running around? He doesn't have a hard counter for them. He almost needs to have, honestly, one of the best units I find sometimes for Delhi in Age 4 to train is the hand cannon, because it is automatically teched as an Age 4 unit. You don't have to wait for some super slow upgrade. We see he's still working with these lancers that do not have their upgrades. But man, the other thing though, you don't want to make hand cannons up against longbows, because a longbow mass will counter them. But I think Daut's just creeping. He's in a really, really comfortable position. He's got keeps. He's got man-arms running around. He's chasing out villagers right now. Look at that. David is down to 67 villagers again, being pushed off of his gold. At the moment, he has plenty of gold in the bank, but those man-arms just causing chaos all over the eco for David. And elephants, obviously, very slow units, not going to be really good at chasing down those man-arms. He really kind of needed to hold the river in order to make big use of these elephants. He had such a big siege mass, but was never able to make a military push. And now we see these bombards starting to eye these landmarks, kiting back. And he's got man-arms and a keep back here. We've got man-arms on the back line, halting the food eco. And there we go. David Kim taps out. Daut taking the victory here with the English. Hope you enjoyed this casted game. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, please consider subscribing and clicking that alert bell. I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this cast. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.